welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
What a greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us in London. I'm Austin Okonak and Cecilia. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
That means we're getting into a weekend of non-stop sporting action. Are you ready?
Of course, I'm ready. And this weekend, Manchester United will be up against Tottenham Hotspur. We will be talking about that. And right here in Nigeria, big fixtures for you this weekend. Rivers United hosting, of course, Enyimba of Aba. They will clash this weekend. And another big clash is Remo Stars and Rangers, who usually find it difficult to score. Remo Stars will be hosting the reigning champions. And when you go to Germany, well, the team that were unbeaten last year in Europe and, of course, in their league, they are in action this weekend against Bayern Munich. Of course, that record has been broken. That record is gone simply because Leipzig were the one that ensured that, yes, the winning run is all over for Bayer Leverkusen. We'll be taking a look at that, what Vincent Kompany is saying ahead of that. And, of course, Xabi Alonso, who is the coach of Leverkusen. Yes, no, Victor Boniface is playing in that team. Yes, we'll pay attention to him. He scored about 3 goals in 4 appearances for the league this season. Yes, we'll be talking about him on the show. And the under-20 men's team, yes, talking about the CAF Waffle B tournament that will be taking place in October. Yes, Nigeria is in the mix. We have the draws for you on the show tonight. It's a loaded package, as I mentioned earlier. You will be hearing from Pep Guardiola, from Mikel Arteta, and, of course, the coach of Chelsea, what they are up to this weekend. Yes, football day, you would say. The Friday night. And, of course, who is here with us tonight? Good evening.
It's good to be back on the show. I mean, a big weekend, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
There's so much to look out for in the NPFL. I'm more looking forward to the game between Academy Warriors and Plateau United.
Okay.
It's a game I've been privileged to watch both home in Maiduguri and in Jos. So I can tell you that it's always a massive cracker. And I'm really looking forward to it as well. And there's also the Madrid derby. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, let's say it all goes. So it's a weekend of bumper, sporting actions all around.
Yeah, football get us talking tonight. Yes, we are starting off with Nigeria Premier Football League, the games for this weekend. I'm going to take a look at the fixtures for this weekend first before we delve into the key games for Saturday and, of course, key games for Sunday. Now, if you take a look at... You mentioned Academy Warriors and Plateau United, and that's where I'm going to start off from, because Academy Warriors, Plateau United is a derby. You know how Plateau United, Academy Warriors started the season this year? Started the season. That game against Rangers gave them that kind of edge, and then, of course, they're on the kind of, not too fine run, but at least they are comfortable right now.
They had a big win last weekend. That's against Nasarawa United at the Lafayette Township Stadium. In fact, they were trailing Nasarawa United by 2 goals to nothing. They came back into that game, took the lead. Nasarawa United equalized, and they got a late penalty to have a 4-3 victory away at the Lafayette Township Stadium. So they go, away from home. So they go home now to play against a pretty not so consistent Plateau United so far. But hey, I mean, there's been a whole lot of away victories this season. In fact, this weekend they were. I'm not sure there was any home win on Sunday.
They
were all away victories, all on the road. So I mean,
Remo Stars. We were covering the election.
I mean, I always have my phone. Remo Stars won away at Kano Pillars at the Sonny Abacha Stadium in Kano, one of the most difficult places to get victory. So it could go either ways, but it's a big match. El Kanemi Warriors and Plateau United, they always go neck to neck. I remember there was a game under former manager Kennedy Boboye. El Kanemi Warriors scored the winning goal in the 99th minute of that encounter. I can't forget because I was there in Maiduguri. See, it's going to be a big match. It's going to be a big match, no doubt about that. El Kanemi will want to consolidate on their away win against Nasarawa United and make sure that they get something on their own turf. Yeah,
that was 7-goal thriller. Austin was talking about that on Tuesday. Now, let me just take a look at the fixtures. We'll start off with Saturday's fixture for match day 4 from the Nigeria Premier Football League. Academy Warriors, as we mentioned, that's the cracker Okpeyemi has been talking about. You have Ikorodu City hosting Nasarawa United. They lost to Rangers in Lagos on Wednesday. Aqua United hosting Sunshine Stars. So the 3 games for Saturday. Let's take a look at the games for Sunday. You have Niger Tornadoes up against Bendel Insurance. Rivers United at Enyimba. Yes, a big battle here. Abia Warriors and Kano Pillars in action. You have Bayelsa United, of course, Kwara United also in action this weekend. And then Katsina and Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars will be sweating from that defeat against Eimba. And Remo Stars are up against Rangers International. Another key big game for this weekend. And of course, 3SC and Heartland, who are second from bottom, they will also be in action. Austin, yes. No, we talked about Rangers, we talked about Rivers United and Eimba briefly last night. But hey, it's here, and this game, is this what is getting your attention, or you want to focus on Remo Stars and, of course, Rangers International?
Of course, it's a big game, you know. It's a good one for league football development in Nigeria. And I like the fact that now in the analysis, we're not just talking about the players, we're also talking about the managers who are doing so well. Finidi George will be going against his former team, Eimba, and he won the league title with that team. Now, Coach Yema is a fantastic coach, one that I admire a lot. I like his growth. He's very intelligent. And he has said, look, that they're going to make it a good show for league football in Nigeria. So I'm looking forward to it. Rivers United, what a story. They are picking it up gradually, one step at a time. They are pushing, they are fighting. In this game against Lobby Stars, it was looking like it was going to end goalless. And then they brought in super sub, Kabri Abdullahi. What a story, Cecilia. 3 games, 3 goals for this guy who always comes on as a substitute. He is new to the Nigeria Premier Football League. Look at his follow-up to that ball. Goalkeeper thought he has saved it. Defenders from Lobby Stars were looking for it. And then from nowhere, Kabri Abdullahi popped up and, you know, sent the ball into the net to give Rivers United that crucial away win to keep them relevant as they go into this encounter against Eimba. Now, I like the story so much because when we begin to talk about things like this, people say, oh, you're just trying to up the league. No, there are beautiful things going on in the NPFL, and we're going to see it again when Rivers United and Eimba will clash. Let me say something about a fixture no one is talking about, and that's the game between Niger Tornadoes versus Bendel Insurance. Now, Niger Tornadoes, they are that team that people just look at, okay, on a good day, if they want to win, they will win. But that's a traditional team. They started the season away, beat Kwara United away. Their last game against Plateau United was away, and they won that game. Bendel Insurance should be careful because now teams that have caught fire at the start of the season, we want to do everything that they can to sustain the momentum. Why am I not talking much about Remo Stars? Because they understand what it means to keep winning when they start winning in the NPFL. But they've got a very stiff competition when they will take on Rangers. Rangers, we know their story, the Flying Antelopes, and everything that they did last season to win it. But at the moment, who is enjoying good form is definitely Coach Benga Ogumodede's team. So I would say Remo Stars will win this one, but let football, you know, give us whatever it wants to give us. Shout out to El Kanemi Warriors. The last game against Nasarawa United. What a story. 7-goal thriller from 2 goals to, you know, win that one. It was painful for Anas, who became the first player, only match day 3, to score a hat-trick. You know, but they didn't just do enough to defend that, considered a late penalty, and El Kanemi won it. So let's see if El Kanemi can still get us talking after match day 4, Cecilia.
That's what we'll see. A whole lot of games this weekend is loaded. Of course, on Tuesday, we'll be back here to give you all the results and analysis concerning the games that were played at the weekend. Is there any other one that got your attention? I mean, you like because you were so focused on that Academy Warriors and Platinum.
I think Remo Stars also. The fact that they've been able to get away wins this season.
Yes.
It's not everyone that can go to the Sonny Abacha Stadium to get a victory. And it was not even just a 1-0 victory. It was a 2-0 victory.
They didn't concede.
They didn't concede any goal.
And they're top in the table.
And I mean, you just want to keep going.
Yeah.
And they've been close. They call them the near men. They've qualified for the CAF Champions League back-to-back now. I'm sure they will wonder what exactly is Rivers United doing that we didn't do? What did Rangers do last season that we didn't do? Let's get this thing going.
Experience.
Yes, let's just keep going. Let's just keep moving. And if you start at this pace Remo Stars are starting, I think by the time we get into December, January, you look at who is who on the table. But I'm really excited. The fact that it doesn't look like the table could go anywhere this season. Lobby Stars are just here and there. You talked about Niger Tornado, 2 wins away from home this season. They won Plateau United last weekend in Jos. Look at Remo Stars also, away wins. Rangers International. Everybody just want try and keep as much point as they can. So the game between Remo Stars and Rangers is also, getting my attention. But because I've witnessed El Kanemi Warriors and Plateau United, both in Jos and in Meduguri, I know what it entails. I know the firecracker. I know the energy that both teams will bring on board, and I'm really looking forward to it, Cecilia.
Obviously looking forward to it. Let's shift our attention to the CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations WAFU B qualifiers. The draw is out, and of course, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria are in Group B. I'll just take a look at this group. Group A, we have Togo and Niger, and of course Ghana and Benin Republic. There you have the WAFU B qualifiers, Africa. CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, Togo, Niger, Ghana, and Benin. So go to Group B, where you have Nigeria, and in that Group B, that's where you have the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire. Of course, the WAFU Zone B Championship will start October 17th and end 31st in Togo. And this qualifier will know the team that will be playing, of course, the final one. And of course, let's see if the Flying Eagles can do something differently this time around. Austin, I mean, it's not, in the past few years, I don't really know how to describe the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. It used to be, the team that when they are going to play, we know, yes, should we say it's developmental? No, it's on the, this is on the 20. It's more than developmental because you've seen 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds playing professional football. Barcelona will tell you the story. Arsenal doing the same thing. Even Real Madrid, we've seen younger players actually, playing professional football already in the league, signing professional contracts. Will you still call this developmental?
Yeah, it is, Cecilia, but with progression in mind. That's what our administrators aren't considering, Sometimes they do business with it. Other times they do paddy. Somebody, bring somebody, recommend somebody, the person gets into the team. We should have been using the under-20s, the under-17s properly if we have developed league football in Nigeria. So that would be the engine room that will be feeding that, age grade level. But I think it has come to the point where we need to sit back and look at the under-20 team and say, if we get it right, because check it, the under-20 team is very crucial. It's in the middle. If you're coming from under-17, that's where you stop or you advance. And then that team we'll call the dream team under-23. This team can also feed it. So the NFF needs to sit back and say, I remember when I told them, I said, I have a program for under-20 and under-23. It's difficult because they don't really have a calendar controlling them. But when you know they have competitions coming up, work with the leagues, work with club owners, work with coaches in the NPFL. Be sincere to yourself. Sometimes it hurts when you lose. People cannot handle defeat, but there are so much lessons in it. Don't do it for winning. Just tell people, let's be true to ourselves. Let's genuinely have under-17s, under-20s, and under-23. And let's bring it from home. That's why I remember when we started the NPFL under 15 promises.
Yeah.
We said, look, it's promising. We can do something with it. But these days, when I see the program, I just shake my head. I'm like, what are we doing? This is the WAFU B. Let's see what they can come up with. The least we can do is qualify. Qualify, and let's see if our administrators will do something different for us to, go to the main competition and see how we can pick our rhythm again. I think until we start having that mentality, Cecilia, it's so clear. We have dropped in under-17. Yeah. We have dropped in under-20. Okay, hurry up. Remind me, the last time the men qualified for the Olympics. I'm going to sleep. It's a long time.
The show is still on. They have a new coach now. I mean, everyone, no one likes people. There's a saying. Okay, I'm not going to say that. The former coach, there's a lot of story about him. But we have Aliyu. I mean, Aliyu is in charge right now. Aliyu Zubairu, he's in charge. We don't know what he's going to do differently. But I remember when he talked about the league will rescue them. No, concerning this, because we understand that sometimes you don't have the time to actually keep players in camp. You're talking about under 20. How many leagues would want to release their players on time for a championship like this, before they even play the main one? This is just the qualifiers into the main one. So that's kind of difficult. But when he said the league will rescue them, what do you think he was talking about?
I feel sad. I mean, I used to know how excited Austin can get when it comes to developmental football in Nigeria. Yeah. And I just watched him, spoke now. And it looked to me like someone that had given up. It looked to me like someone that is tired of saying the same thing over and over again. And I think I'm also in the same space. The idea of developmental teams is not exactly to win at all costs. It is to provide a bedrock at which you can monitor the growth of this player, take them from the future Eagles to under 17, to under 20, to under 23. The ones that are lucky can get into the national team. Not all of them would get into the national team. Some can join at under 20. Some will just have that transition from the Olympics team, the dream team, to go into the national team. It's a whole lot. But if Coach Zubara feels he can look into the league, but the question is this: how many under 20 players are actually playing actively in Nigerian league? Yes, there are a few of them, no doubt about that. But if you want to base all of the team selection on the players that are playing in the league, then we just may be in trouble. We're looking for under 20. That means we're looking for 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds to play at the under 20. Cecilia, be truthful to yourself. How many under 20s do we have playing week in, week out for NPFL club sides? That's the question we'd ask ourselves. Then what is the functionality of academic in Nigerian Premier League aside? How many clubs in Nigeria have functional academies? That's the question we need to ask. If you're not looking at it from the standard team, you want to check over at the academy. Most of the clubs in Nigeria use academies owned by individuals as their own academies. I don't want to start calling names here. We know all of these things. So I think the coach needs to sit back with academic owners, not exactly club owners. Go around the academies in Kaduna, in Jos, in Ijebu-Ode, in Benin. Go around those academies. Go and talk to the owners of these academies. We have something close to under 20. You can still have under 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds playing in the academy. But if you think you want to get them from the league, Cecilia, maybe me too, I'll go and sleep when else to wake up.
You guys will leave me here. But I know that, what he was trying to say is that he wants to, because they're using academy players right now, he wants to beef up the squad with NPFL players. So that's the only way they can actually compete in Togo next month. The top two from the group will move to the semi-finals, of course. And after, South Africa is hosting the Under-20 Championship January next year. And, of course, later in the year, that's when the World Cup will start. Hopefully, they can make it to out of that group. The teams are not so much. They can make it down and qualify.
It's been
a long time we celebrate on the Rage Great Tournament. It's been a long time.
There was a time when we were ruling under 17 in this country.
Okay, a full stop. You want me to go sleep, right? Let's go to Germany, where Bayer Leverkusen and, of course, Bayern Munich, they are in action this Saturday. Yes, it's we've talked about the loaded package. But first of all, we'll start off with Bayer Leverkusen. Austin, I mean, this team actually took everyone by storm last season, when they, against all odds, I mean, no one gave Xabi Alonso a chance. Just a new coach coming into the league for the first time. I mean, first team coach managing a big team like Bayer Leverkusen. They gave a run. I mean, Bayern Munich were distraught. They sacked their coach anyway at the end of the day. But they went all out. But this season, yes, they've dropped one game already. Bayern are topping the group, showing that, yes, they are really the dominant team. But we need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll get to listen to Vincent Kompany and talk more about this blockbuster game this weekend.
I think coaches, there's of course the nature of being competitive, but I think as coaches you're always looking for who's doing something new, who's doing something special. And obviously he did something special last year. The team, the club did something special last year. So it was interesting to observe that, but in the end, that's also what makes this game really interesting for our fans. That's what makes this game really interesting for the players, for myself, is that now they are coming to us. We get an opportunity to measure ourselves, but as well, I think, you know, when you have, you know, our team now playing against a team that's had an exceptional achievement, which is what they did last year, I think that's when football can be special. That's what people want to see, and that's what hopefully we'll be able to give to our fans on Saturday.
16 goals in 4 matches. That's what Bayern have done. For Leverkusen, well, they've conceded 9 goals already this season. Austin, not looking pretty for them at all.
Yeah, I think I like this one. I'm looking forward to it, and I like the fact that Vincent Kompany, to an extent, is beginning to, you know, silence his critics because they were expecting him to fail, but he has started so well with this Bayern Munich team, and I think they will keep getting better. I also love the fact that he's loving the competition, that Bayer Leverkusen can actually push them, that Dortmund is also doing the same. A quick look at the league table, Bayern is on top with 12 points. Dortmund is second with 10 points, and Leverkusen is third with 9. This is what keeps a league going. And if you take a look at the head-to-head record, Cecilia, in their last 5 matches, Bayern has won just 1. 2 draws, and Leverkusen has got 2. I remember so well September 15th, 2023, that blockbuster game they played at the Allianz Arena that ended 2-2. And it was from that season that we started saying, this Leverkusen team, I think they know what they are doing. And then in February 2024, they thrashed Bayern Munich 3-0 at home, you know, and just to just say, look, we know what we are doing with the league. Xabi Alonso is no fluke. We're going to punish you guys. The Super Eagles player, Victor Boniface, is working with the team tirelessly, giving his best. There's also Nathan Teller out there. So Nigeria is contributing to all of the good things happening to Bayer Leverkusen. But surprise, surprise, the Panthers, they've given 51% to Bayern Munich to win. And I'm looking at it and saying, that must definitely be because they're on top of the league table. But I welcome the competition. I cannot wait to see what this one will give us. And at the end of the day, Cecilia, I'm sure we're going to see a beautiful game of football.
Was the showdown on Saturday evening. That's what we expect. I mean, Austin said a lot about Bayern, but then look at Leverkusen, what they did ending that run of Bayern last season. 11 titles they won in Europe, but they had to, at a point, you know, they had to end, and they ended it last season.
Xabi Alonso feels Bayer Leverkusen can retain the title this season. It's going to be tough. I mean, look at the form of Bayern as we speak. 16 goals scored so far. I mean, look at their run in the Champions League also. Harry Kane is in a crazy form right now. He wants to win his first major trophy ever with all of his records. So I think it's going to be tough one for Bayer Leverkusen. They had a massive season the last time out. Victor Boniface, Yemi Teller, Grimaldo, Frimpong, Florian Reeds, the poster boy of German football right now. It was a good run for them last season, and I think the way Atalanta, you know, just took them to the cleaners in the final of the Europa League just told you that if you look at Bayer Leverkusen well, and I mean, the ability to win at the depth of games was just exceptional. They've done it again this season, by the way. The last time out, they needed about 94th minute of the game before Victor Boniface got the winning goal in that 4-3 victory. But last season, they kept going, 97th minute, 96th minute, 95th minute. They were grinding out those results. But, I mean, that was when there was so much inconsistency around Bayern. But it looks like Bayern had gotten a jackpot right now, from relegating Burnley to coaching arguably one of the biggest clubs, rather, in world football in Bayern. Vincent Kompany has said it over and over again. He was responding to critics after the Champions League victory, and he said, hey, for a son of an immigrant from Congo, he didn't even think he could play football, not talk of playing for the national team, not talk of playing for Man City. So he says you can't stop dreaming. And I think Bayern this season are ready to go all out. Harry Kane is in the form of his life. They're enjoying their football. And I think it's just going to be between these two people. Maybe club like RB Leipzig, Stuttgart, Borussia Dortmund, Borussia Mönchengladbach could get points here and there, but you have a feeling that games like this could decide where the German Bundesliga will go to at the end of this season, Cecilia.
Saturday night is a loaded one. All right, let's leave that and move to the English Premier League. Big games also coming, especially for Manchester United. Yes, last weekend witnessed what Arsenal could do when they come together, except for that red card. I mean, Miss City would have been sweating right now. But it ended in a draw. But this is another big game we're looking at this weekend. But we'll start off with Saturday's fixtures for you, starting with Newcastle United and Manchester City. That's the first game at 12 noon. That's what will start the weekend. And, of course, Arsenal up against Leicester City, another very stubborn team. They're not having a good run. They are returning to the Premier League. Brentford up against West Ham. West Ham were beating Black Blue. I mean, Liverpool did them in the EFL Cup. Chelsea did it last weekend. And now they're up against Brentford. Very unpredictable team. Chelsea will welcome Brighton. They have a good start this season. Brighton, their season so well. And, of course, for Everton, they welcome Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest will up against Fulham Wolves. And Liverpool will be in action to end the matches for Saturday. Now, let's come to games for others for Sunday. You have Ipswich and Aston Villa. And the final game for the weekend will be Manchester United and Tottenham. Of course, these two sides have a lot in common. But before we talk about them, first we're going to be talking about Pep Guardiola. Also, a lot has been said about Rodri. I mean, Rodri happens to be a very, very key player. I remember when he got injured before the final of the European Championship. I mean, people were already thinking maybe Spain would not win it because of his role, the role he played for them. But they went on to win it. But Pep Guardiola has been talking about him that even if he's injured, they can still win games. So it simply means he's a player that is, no player is indispensable to him. But he also feels that if they lose some games, people will think because Rodri is out, and that's the reason. But the news is he had a surgery earlier today, and of course he's out for the season, ACL.
I think Rodri talked himself into this, you know. I really don't understand why, because he's a core professional. I said it the other day on this show, how he was talking about a congested Premier League calendar, and then right after the league was done, and he did not make it to, I think he wasn't shortlisted for the player of the season. Cecilia went to the Euros, and he put fire everywhere and was the MVP. Now we came up with a new calendar and a new changes. He started complaining, players will go on strike. It's too much, blah, blah, blah. I said, stop this, Rodri. If you have a problem, you cannot be talking to FIFA and UEFA. Go and talk to your club and tell them to cut down the number of matches that you're supposed to play because you're a professional and they're paying you now. He's injured, is out of the way. I know Pep Guardiola will find a way to turn it around. It's this season. After this season, the next coming years is Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, as we're speaking about Rodri, let's listen to him.
What he gave us, we don't have a similar player, but the other players all together can replace what Rodri has or have given since arrived to us. So we have to do it as a team, and we have to find a way to play during a lot of months without an important player for us. Everybody knows it, and like all the teams want, a speedy recovery for next season, compete against them. If we don't win, it's because we miss Rodri. No one day in the last years I was not confident. Of course, we are stronger with him. We are stronger with Nathan Ake. He's now playing since arrived for international break. We are stronger with Oscar Bob and all the injuries with Kevin, and we know that, but it's what it is. So we don't want it, but football happened, and it's a pity because it's a long injury, and of course it's 8-9 months, and after it's not because after in 1 month you got to be ready, and after that come the muscular injuries. You have to be careful because when you have an ACL injury 8-9 months, year after you have muscular problems for sure. So that's why it's longer. So I think Rodri will become his best after not just 8-9 months, but it's what it is. As a club, we have a magnificent players, and we will find a solution, and we will see what happens.
Yeah, so that's it. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola talking about the Rodri situation. The coaches can be funny, And Pep is very good with the mind games. Yes, I know that we cannot have someone who will come out and play like Rodri, but this is Manchester City. He must have a replacement.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are also forgetting the fact that Pep at the moment does not have the complement of KDB as well, Kevin De Bruyne. And I think it's going to stretch them this season. They said Man City don't lose when Rodri plays, and it shows how strong, how influential, how much the team seems to, build around him. It gives them that solidity. It gives them that balance on the baseline. It gets a lot of ball going forward for them. It breaks play from the opponent. It's just a very complete player, and they play against a certain unpredictable Newcastle team tomorrow. Also, they'll be missing Alexander Isak as well, talking of Newcastle. But early kickoff is always a bit dicey. But let's see how Pep Guardiola will go with this Manchester City team this season. Yes, congestion. There's a whole lot of games coming up. But the truth of the matter is this. You have a large squad. You get so much money. These monies are coming from somewhere. So the fans also deserve enjoyment for whatever it is that they are paying. Yes, it's a bad 66 minutes of action. That's all he's got this season, and his season is over even before it started. By the way, the game against Arsenal was his first start so far this season for Manchester City, and that's where he picked up that injury. It's unfortunate, but injuries are part of the game. January transfer window, Pep Guardiola can decide to go into the transfer market and pick a couple of players. But Man City also has a large squad, Cecilia, and I think with time, they would understand that, yes, we can do without Rodri, at least for the rest of the season. Let's see where they go. But whatever happened this season, I know a lot of other club sides, fans are wondering, could this be the season? Could this be the time that somebody can break the control and the monopoly of Manchester City in the league? And let's see how it goes, Cecilia.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see how it will go. But when Rodri complained that, I don't know how this happened, but as a Friday at a press conference, that's when he was complaining about the increasing workload of players. The players are supposed to play between the 40 to 50 games, and he himself played about 63 matches last season for Spain, and of course for Manchester City. And this season, from the expansion of the Premier League, players are likely going to play as much as 80 games this season. And he was talking about the fact that you won't get the best out of these players if they are made to play as much as that game. And 2 days later, on Sunday, 21st minutes into the game against Arsenal, he got injured. And he underwent surgery this morning, and he's out for the rest of the season. Okay. Not looking good. And that's a player, well, people are thinking he might just win the Ballon d'Or, but yeah. Okay. So we're leaving Manchester City and quickly talk about Manchester United. Yes, and this is another one for Erik ten Hag. He hasn't had a good season, but there is a player that is really not scoring. As we're talking about Fernandes. I mean, the fact that Fernandes is not scoring, but he's not just the only one. I mean, United right now, they are owing goals, according to their fans. They're even owing goals. They can't score, but they're owing because of the goal difference that they are and the position that they're in, and they are up against Tottenham Hotspur this weekend. Let's take a listen to Ten Hag, and then you react to this.
I think the team brings him now in a situation, and I think he is capable of, and I think he has proven this so many years already in the Premier League, that he can create many chances. And I'm convinced he will, this season, he will not do differently. And he will come on this point that he will find his form, and he's already creating chances, but he will make final passes. He will score goals 100%, and that's just a matter of time. The key area, you have to score more goals across the team. We have the abilities to score, but that's clear. You see all the opportunities we are creating. We're not scoring enough. You always work into a season. You have to build it. The structures in defending, structures in possession, of course. You start with the build-up. I think we have the structures there quite right. We across, I think, almost all the games, we have more possession as the opponent. But then it's about what are you doing with your possession. And I think we bring the ball into the final third. We bring the ball even into the box a lot. But now we have to take more advantage, more benefit from it. I think it will be a very intensive game. It's always against Tottenham, and it is, I think, also it's our style as well. So I think it's going to be a very dynamic, attractive game.
An intense game for Bruno Fernandes, the captain. Just one assist this season. United struggling to score goals. Austin, you listen to Ten Hag saying he expects an intense game, and he also an intense game this weekend. Also believe that yes, the players can start scoring.
I don't know. Last season, Cecilia, I was speaking for Eric Ten Hag and this Manchester United team, and they just told me, Austin, shut up. We're not ready to improve. We just want to keep doing things the way we've been doing it. I think with this Tottenham game, they can just use it to revive their season, because if you put them side by side with Tottenham, I think they're about the same. United is 10th on the log, Tottenham is 11th. Both teams still trying to get their rhythm after 5 matches. So I really don't know what to say about this Manchester United team, because it is a good team. It is a team with good players. It is a team that by now they should have had that reality check, reflect, speak to themselves, and, start doing things differently. But it's not going well for them. And if Tottenham gets it right and, try to turn it around, get a vital away win out of Manchester, that can actually be the season the win that would turn it around for Tottenham. I think if this game gets drab and both of them come and play the way we've seen this season, it might just end in a stalemate, Cecilia.
Stalemate, because the game against Crystal Palace ended goalless, against 20 ended 1-1. But the last 2 years, United have not beaten Tottenham. We all know that. And usually these fixtures produce lots and lots of goals. With United struggling to score goals, what's going to happen?
I think at the end of the season, United would ask and look at how they undo the Scott McTominay issue. He came in for Napoli as a sub and got one of their 5 goals. He settled in very well in Italy, almost like he was born to play there. And he was arguably one of Manchester United's best players last season, highest goal scorer for them. And you wonder, in a team that is struggling to find their balance, you are still letting go of the few players that have been able to come up for you. Rashford did not have a shot on target until match day 4. Imagine a quality of that player. They've been relying so much on Garnacho, on Ahmad. There's so much inconsistency around Eriksen. I think he should leave Manchester United as we speak. Scored against 20, also gave away the ball that led to 20's equalizer. There's so much over-reliance on Bruno Fernandes, and I think it's telling on him. He's more like, a star in the midst of teams that are struggling. And I think, again, you also need to look at Eric Ten Hag's body language. What does he say to the players? He's always coming to I understand the whole idea of don't call out your players in public, don't criticize them in public, but it is clear for everyone to see. The team don't have direction as to speak. There's no inconsistency. And when you have Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire as your set of defenders, then you know you are looking for trouble.
Now I understand why Austin wouldn't say much about this team. Let's leave it and see what's going to happen on Sunday evening. Now let's move over to Arsenal, Austin. Yes.
Arsenal, what a season they're trying to have. I was at the Emirates Stadium to see the AFL Cup game against Bolton that they won, convincingly 5-1. And I spoke to some of the fans, and they're optimistic. They're bothered about the injury that they have in the squad, but they know that they have what it takes to actually push for the trophy this time, and they have charged Mikel Arteta to sign a striker. And I really think he needs to sign a striker. He's been speaking, saying they are ready for the Leicester City challenge. I expect the Gunners to win this one easy peasy, but we've seen stranger things in the Premier League. So let's listen to Mikel Arteta. I'll be right back on the program.
They have a lot of ability and obviously very well, and what he's done with previous team, what he's trying to do. I watched 3 or 4 of the games this season, and they have a lot of threat. And he's got the formula as well, because he beat us when he was at Forest as well, and it's a game that we're going to take very, very seriously, because it's going to be a very tough opponent. In terms of how we have reacted, especially to difficulty very early in the season, yes, we have to prove that obviously at the end of the season. So to answer that question with more certainty, we have to wait at the end of the season, but good sign so far. If we get negative criticism where we are, what we've been through in the last 3 games, that tells you the expectations. So we have to raise the level, that's it. I asked them the question yesterday to write it. So what are the difficulties and the challenges here? And they were very clear about it. So they know what is coming, and they know this league so far so good, and they know that we're going to require to be at the top level tomorrow to beat them. I want to play well and deserved and win the 3 points, not to silence anybody, and to make our people proud. That's it.
Yeah, that's Arsenal's manager, Mikel Arteta. Cecilia, before I get on, let me set the record straight, because Tottenham fans are coming for me that how can I put Manchester United ahead of them? Please, it's Tottenham that is 10th on the log and Manchester United are 11th. But you guys have 7 points apiece, so I don't know what the problem is. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal are interesting conversation, because you'd expect them to win this one, Opeyemi. When you take a look at Leicester City, their last 3 matches, I think Aston Villa, they lost. A game we're expecting them to win. It ended 2-2, and I think they played 1-1 in their last game against Everton. They shouldn't worry Arsenal, should they?
I don't think so. Whatever happened at the Etihad Stadium the last time out was a reality check to the other teams that Arsenal could survive any situation. I mean, we've told, there was a time they were calling them the crybabies, that they get bullied. But I mean, you don't go to the Emirates, to the Etihad Stadium, get a red card at the end of first half, and you think you want to play attacking football against Man City. You're going to get roasted. And I think they want to make a statement. Funny for Arsenal is that in 12 away games this season, they've had 2 draws and 10 victories. They've not lost in 2024 away from home. But 5 of their next 6 games are going to be at the Emirates Stadium, beginning from the Bolton game they won 5-1 against Leicester City. You want to think they should get that done, easy peasy, but it could go either ways. But with this Arsenal side, I think they just want to keep going. They are missing their captain. I think one of the biggest players for them in Martin Odegaard. It could be back in the next week, maybe after international break. But for now, I think it's going to be a straight win for Arteta, you know, especially if the game between Newcastle and Man City goes in favor of Newcastle. Arsenal will certainly want to capitalize on that and switch position on the table.
Switching position on the table. Let's quickly talk about Chelsea. I mean, the coach Enzo Maresca is doing something differently this season. Let's take a listen to him.
It's always important to win games because give us energy, confidence, trust. But sometimes even when you don't win, you play some good games. So you have to be focused on that it's important. And sometimes happen in the other side, that sometimes you win games, but probably you don't deserve, and you think that everything is fine. That is not fine. But the main thing, as I said, in this moment, for sure, the results are important, but is to see how we progress, how we are able to change players, but the identity and the idea is still there. This has to be, in this moment, the main target. And then for sure that we're going to win games. Since day one, they have been open mind and they are trying to understand what we want from them. So since this happened since day one, and then I think there is not I can say there is no limit in terms of, okay, we need 3 months to learn everything. No. We are going to continue to learn every day. For sure that learning things we can improve. This is for sure. But there is not a moment that we say, okay, we need 6 months to learn, and then no. It's work in progress every day. We can add things, we can improve, and this is the only thing that we need to be focused.
Right, Austin, we have to go. Seems Enzo is having a brighter season than what Chelsea did last season. Yeah,
I think that the mentality that Enzo has brought into the team, I think it's a good one. They are 5th on the log. They've gathered 10 points already. They actually are a good contender for the league title. Let's just hope that they don't slip along the way. That's the show. We didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. They've taken off the Olympic rings from the Eiffel Tower, Cecilia. It was such a spectacle to watch during the Olympics, particularly at night. The lights from the Eiffel Tower can actually make a blind man see, you know. But now the Olympics rings are off, and the Eiffel Tower will just remain that ordinary Eiffel Tower. I'm just kidding, that was before. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakwa, and in everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Okpeyemi Akeode, it was nice doing this with you on a Friday night.
And I hope we get to see a few of the NPFL games, hopefully. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cecilia, let's go get some football.
Yeah, of course. It's a loaded package this weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omongbe. Have a good night, sir.